will deliver the next generation of finance leaders and help raise industry standards. Without the new credential, FinCES says the management of Australia's super savings is at risk. For more on this, we're joined by the FinCES CEO, Dr. Martin Fahy. Dr. Martin Fahy, thank you very much for your time today. Why? Why do we need there? Is there a problem with the system at the moment that is needing this new sort of credential?
What this credential does is deliver three really strong outcomes. One, it firstly supports our aspiration as a regional financial services hub. It brings forward a revolution in advice and allows working families to be more confident about their superannuation savings going forward, and provides an appropriate credential to support the move to fiduciary duty within the advice space across Australia.
So is that something that's not the case, not happening at the moment?
Well, what we see in Minister Bowen's recent announcement on the future of financial advice and the Ripple inquiry is an indication that we're going to move to fiduciary duty to clients. And what that means for advisors is they'll have to act in the best interest of clients, and we see that foreshadowed with a move away from commissions, not just in the front of the value chain in financial services, but all the way back up through the value chain. So as we move to that more professional relationship, we need to change and bring forward a new category of credential to meet the needs of the industry and the stakeholders in the industry.
And is it fair to say that this new credential is more practical based? I mean, just reading through some of the details, things like having mentors involved and things like that.
One of the characteristics of this credential is that it's a different category of credentialing. Traditional credentialing is based on an educate, examine model. And what that does is it signals to potential. And really, what you can think of it in terms of is it's like having your L's. You know the rules of the road, but nobody's quite sure you can drive. What this credential is doing is credentialing three things: people's technical knowledge, their professional skills, and their values, ethics, and behaviours. And to that sense, what it's doing is driving powerful social change within the profession to ensure that we bring forward a generation of finance professionals who are appropriate credentialed.
Now, we're seeing a raft of regulatory reform within the space at the moment. Did that have any influence on this new sort of credential at all?
There's no doubt that the landscape for regulation is changing quite dramatically. One of the strengths of FinCES membership is that we have members right across the value chain, from the advice space through wealth management, asset consulting, superannuation, investment banking. And what we're seeking to do is to drive the very powerful social norms that define professionalism. Professional conduct is a learned behaviour. The learning's in the doing, and who you learn it from really matters. And what this credential is doing is supporting an intergenerational transfer of values and behaviours and skills from older, seasoned professional elites to younger people in the formative years of their career.
Now, you've said that there are potential risks involved with not implementing this credential, such as the overall management of the nation's superannuation savings. How is that at risk, and what are the other risks, I suppose, with not having it?
The recent proposed reforms around increasing superannuation guarantee contributions from 9 to 12, the emerging findings from the Cooper Review, the changes under the Henry Tax Review, all mean that combined with a growing population, Australia's superannuation by 2025 will be in excess of $5 trillion. If we're to secure the future of that and meet our date with our demographic destiny, we need to bring forward a revolution in advice. We need to ensure that we've got a quality professional credential that allows mums and dads and working families in Australia to be sure that their savings are secure. And that advice needs to be independent, it needs to be appropriately credentialed, and it needs to be world class. And this is what this credential is seeking to do.
Now, I think it's fair to say there is a degree of distrust among some sections of the community towards some sections of the financial services industry, particularly in the wake of the global financial crisis. Are you hopeful that this will help boost confidence?
There's no doubt that Australia is regarded worldwide as having a really world-class financial services system, and that emerges from three key areas: the quality of our regulation, the quality of our institutions, and the quality of the assets within financial services. What this credential is going to do is to seek to repair some of the brand impairment that's been arisen as a result of the GFC by signalling very, very clearly to all the stakeholders, the public, professionals within the industry, regulators and policymakers, that there is a framework in place to guide and develop people through the formative years of their career and give them the strong technical knowledge, the strong professional skills, but more importantly, drive those behaviours, ethics, values and beliefs that will inform appropriate conduct within the industry. Now,
this is a world first, so I suppose two questions. One, where did you get the idea for it, or was it just something internally that sort of came to light? And how are you confident that it will drive improvement and so forth if there is no precedent or benchmark to rate it against?
We've spent the last 18 months at FinCEA carrying out research. We did qualitative research, quantitative research with 1,200 people in the industry. We spoke to employers. We developed prototypes. We went out and looked at best practice in medicine, law, accounting, other professions. We looked particularly at those emerging professions like engineering, surveying, etc. And we took the evidence and the experience from around the world and calibrated and developed from scratch a professional credentialing approach which was unique, but which took all of the best features of all those respected professions and industries and brought it forward for financial services. So that extent, it's combining two things: really, really strong content-driven technical skills, professional skills and ethics and behaviours, but also incorporating a supervisory mentoring aspect where seasoned professionals guide and mentor younger professionals in their formative years. It is a world first, it is very unique, but the evidence base and the fact base behind it, the prototyping we've done, we have our launch partners, we've discussed it with the industry, we know that this is something that's going to be hugely successful going forward.
All right, Dr. Fahy, we do have to leave it there, but thanks very much for your time.
Thank you very much, James.